Its power equals a force of nature. It's the most powerful S-Class ever put into series production so far. Output, 802 horsepower. Maximum torque, a peak of 1,430 Newton-meters. Brutal force under the hood and lavish comfort inside the cabin haven't been opposites in luxury performance sedans for quite some time. Even as a normal S-Class, it's already pure luxury. But there's also the extravagant Maybach version and the sportier AMG variant.
How do we differentiate the cars? First, there's the S63 E-Performance. That's the car for customers who want that extra level of performance, meaning fast acceleration, a very agile vehicle with high dynamics and a sporty exterior design, like this one. On the other hand, we have customers who go for a Mercedes-Maybach, people who want far more individualization, like two-tone paint, or who want an even more exceptional level of comfort. Those customers choose a Maybach.
Comfort is something the AMG can definitely deliver too. But how well does it unite luxury with uncompromising sportiness?
All that's missing now is something to drink. Cheers! Aqua Panna in glass bottles, for the environment, of course. When we're cruising along the ocean here, I don't want even more plastic ending up in it. While we're burning 27 liters in city traffic.
It's meant to be especially sporty and partly drive purely electric without emitting anything locally. So, can power and luxury coexist with a clean environmental conscience? And do we even need this much performance?
When it comes to Mercedes' performance brand, AMG, you can't avoid the S-Class. The S63 AMG with a performance hybrid system delivers an unbelievable 802 horsepower. Why you'd make a luxury sedan this sporty? And the history of AMG, that's what we'll explore together.
Other manufacturers also fight for the attention of successful entrepreneurs and top politicians. BMW's 7 Series is Bavaria's answer to the S-Class. Audi has been trying for years to claim market share with the A8. Worldwide, around 200,000 luxury cars costing about 100,000 euros were sold in 2022. Mercedes dominates with nearly 45,000 units. Next comes BMW with 21,000. Audi trails far behind with around 11,500. So what do the Swabians do better? We're checking out the newly refreshed AMG S63 in California, along the Pacific coast from Malibu to Venice Beach. And we take a look at the motorsport roots of this unique power luxury sedan. many want to be an icon. The S-Class has earned that title over decades among the world's most successful luxury sedans, for example, through constant innovation in technology and safety. And because its virtue has always been exceptional comfort for quality-focused buyers, the AMG look remains relatively subtle on the outside. Sporty bumpers, massive 22-inch wheels, and a few AMG badges mark this power luxury model. He's the ancestor of all Mercedes 63 models, the 300 SEL with the internal code W109. The series is considered the birth of the S-Class. Its badge references the 6.3-liter naturally aspirated V8, the largest V8 in Mercedes' lineup at the time. In its 6-year production run, 6,526 units were built. With 250 horsepower, the car was extremely popular, even though the surcharge over the next weaker engine, the 280 SE, was a hefty 13,000 Deutschmarks. Today, good examples are sought after and very expensive. This car also came with typical S-Class innovations, a patented safety steering column with a telescoping shaft, and soft impact plate reduced injury risks during accidents. In a frontal crash, the column wouldn't move toward the driver. This later became standard across all Mercedes models. With 15.5 liters per 100 kilometers, it was pretty thirsty. So on paper, the new S63 with 4.4 liters seems much more efficient, even if in reality, it might need twice or 3 times that. For AMG founders Hans-Werner Aufrecht and Erhard Melcher, more power and racing technology had to go into the car. For the 1971 24 Hours of Spa in Belgium, they bored the 6.3-liter engine out by half a liter. They entered the race with the modified and significantly lightened S-Class, now with a 6.8-liter V8. The result of the lovingly nicknamed Red Pig, class victory and second place overall. The rest is history. Paired with a 5-speed manual gearbox, it reached 265 kilometers per hour. The engine produced 428 horsepower and 620 Newton-meters of torque. Half a century later, the new S63 has nearly doubled that power.
What I find especially fascinating on the S63 is the drivetrain, the performance hybrid. Let's look under the hood. Up front, as usual, we have a combustion engine, the 4-liter biturbo V8 with 612 horsepower. And in the back, there's the electric motor. But when we close the hood, here up front for the first time, we get the AMG crest on the hood and the star in the grille. That's new for the S-Class. The electric components of the performance hybrid sit on the rear axle. We can't see them. But in the trunk, we can see that the EV components reduce the storage space a bit. Here, we have the electric motor with 140 kilowatts, 190 horsepower, and a 13.1 kilowatt-hour battery. With that, you can theoretically drive up to 33 kilometers purely electric.
Just 3.3 seconds. That's how fast the 2.1-ton luxury sedan is supposed to sprint to 100 kilometers per hour. With the optional driver package at around 2,000 euros, top speed goes up to 290 kilometers per hour. That's a lot for the AMG S-Class, which is only available as a long wheelbase model. For these powerful numbers, the modern 4-liter V8 with 612 horsepower gets help from the performance hybrid system known from the AMG GT 4-door. Its all-electric range in the GT63 E-Performance is just about 12 kilometers, but the system is meant to boost performance and increase efficiency, same as in the S-Class.
The drivetrain we use in both cars was developed together with our colleagues from the Formula One team in England, meaning real F1 technology adapted for a road-legal vehicle. The drivetrains are very similar. The difference of the S63 E-Performance compared to the GT Coupe is that it gets a larger battery and more electric range for the customers, up to 33 kilometers in that case. So in the morning, you can leave your garage silently or come home at night without disturbing anyone. But if you want to drive dynamically, the combination of both drives is the perfect solution.
This level of tech wizardry and the resulting performance polarizes today because the world has changed. Does a luxury limousine need such obscene power? Some love it, others shake their heads.
When we talk about whether such cars make sense, sure, I get why people say, I don't need that. But on the other hand, as a car enthusiast, when I see the technical achievement, the engineering it takes to merge these two drivetrains so harmoniously, and the performance you get from that, I have to say, maybe you don't need it, but it's still cool.
In times of climate change, nobody can avoid the question of purpose anymore. It's fair and important, but many people are in a different place. They show their status with prestigious cars like the S63. The pursuit of goods and happiness remains a driving force of capitalism, and the US is a prime example. Everyone must decide for themselves what they need and what makes sense. Especially in California, it becomes clear you are what you have, and you show it proudly. In the birthplace of show and shine, status is no burden, and the S63 from AMG fits right in. What is the true superpower of this 5.34-meter limousine? Sporty driving or relaxed chauffeuring? If the Maybach focuses on comfort and the AMG on sportiness, is the S63 still luxurious enough to be chauffeured in?
One of the nicest things in the S63 AMG is actually being chauffeured in the back. I'm not sure whether the back or the front is better, and if I want to go all out, I can even activate the lounge seat. It takes a moment because the front seat has to move into chauffeur position. It moves so far forward, it's crazy. I think it takes a full minute until I'm fully reclined. I'm not sure business class on a plane is this comfortable. With a bit of goodwill, I can really stretch out here. Sorry to the leather up front. My shoes might scuff it, but I'm extremely comfortable.
The silence inside and the sheer space seem to impress our tester.
You'd have to look hard to find something comparable, maybe a Rolls-Royce or something even more stretched, although this is already the long version.
Even in the AMG S-Class, being chauffeured is incredibly comfortable. Still, most tech-savvy customers will probably prefer taking the wheel themselves.
Anyone choosing an S63 E-Performance wants, by definition, the best car in the world, which is why they pick an S-Class. But they also want it with a more dynamic flair, a bit sporty, we say humbly, with 1,430 Newton-meters of torque. Customers in this segment are tech fans. They want the latest the market offers, perfectly integrated into an S-Class, meaning dynamic driving but with all the luxury an S-Class brings.
But between the beginnings, the Red Pig, and today's high-tech S-Class lie over 50 years. After the W109 came the W116 in 1972, the first series officially called S-Class. The top model, the 450 SEL, arrived in 1975 with a 6.9-liter V8 and 286 horsepower. Because of the oil crisis, market launch was delayed by 2 years. 550 Newton-meters pushed the 2-ton giant to 100 kilometers per hour in around 7.5 seconds, one of the fastest cars of its time. The models kept improving. From 1978 onward, ABS became standard, along with a collision-protected fuel tank and enhanced cabin safety. And those who wanted more could order extra power, wide-body kits, or spoilers from tuner AMG. AMG evolved from a 1960s tuner specializing in body kits and displacement upgrades into Mercedes-Benz's global performance brand. Mercedes recognized the potential and bought 51% of AMG in 1998. By 2005, AMG was fully integrated into Daimler. From the late 90s onward, high-performance Mercedes models began rolling off the production line as factory AMGs. The 1998 S-Class W220 first came as an S55 AMG in 1999, with 360 horsepower from a 5.5-liter V8. Of all W220 variants, around 490,000 were sold, but only 6,500 were AMGs. AMG's popularity has grown steadily thanks to decades of motorsport success, now spanning 55 years. How many units of the new AMG S63 will be sold globally remains to be seen. But once again, the high-tech car packs Motorsport-derived technology, boosting its power dramatically while promising improved efficiency. In reality, consumption varies depending on how it's driven, anywhere from the official figure to roughly double. Whether AMG or Maybach, the S-Class has long been one of the most innovative production cars in the world. Another example, autonomous driving. Contrary to what many think, Tesla was not the pioneer. Mercedes was the first automaker worldwide to meet legal requirements for Level 3 autonomous driving, called conditional driving automation, at the end of 2021. The optional Drive Pilot lets drivers play computer games or work while the car handles traffic. At a signal, the driver must take back the wheel within 10 seconds. Since mid-2022, Drive Pilot has been available in Germany in the S-Class and EQS.
For Level 3 autonomous driving, we already have approval in Germany. Customers can use it today. And now, as the world's first manufacturer, we've received approval in California as well. I expect that in the second quarter of 2024, we'll be able to offer it to S63 E-Performance customers.
The motorsport experiment at Spa-Francorchamps in 1971 with the modified 300 SEL was the big bang that put AMG on the world map. What began with a heavily modified S-Class turned the small independent tuner into a global brand and integral part of the Mercedes family. You can question the why, but the S63's technological achievement remains undeniable.
The S-Class is the origin of Mercedes-AMG. That's where we come from. Our founders, Aufrecht and Melcher, A and M, founded in Grossersbach, achieved their first racing victories in Spa with an S-Class. That's always been core to our brand and will remain so. And I think we've demonstrated that convincingly with the new torque-rich S63.
If I look at the evolution from the original 6.3-liter AMG engine to today's 4-liter biturbo V8 with 612 horsepower, sure, some will say everything used to be better. But then I look at the performance, 1,430 Newton-meters combined with the E-Performance system. When I look at the base model of the Red Pig, the 300 SEL, that old Mercedes still feels like it was built for eternity. With the modern S63 AMG, absolute high-tech, I'm not so sure yet. Let's meet again in 50 years and see.
As for whether all that power of the S63 makes sense, it's a bit like money in the bank. Better to have it, especially if you want to pay the base price of nearly 210,000 euros in Germany.